Okay, hi everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We are back on to building planes. It was a lot of fun to do the cars and everything, and I still love it and still doing it. We're just doing other things. It is winter time, and we build during the winter time if you're flying planes, right? Right now, it is February 5th. February 6, 2024. It is raining and storming in California really bad. We're getting a lot of flooding in different areas. My area, luckily, we're up on a hill and everything drains away. We're doing just fine other than watching to make sure the yard doesn't flood anywhere. But we got good drainage. Everything's good. Anyways, we're on to the Proxy build, finishing up the wing, right? So we've peeled all the paper off, and the wing got real flimsy. So we've gone ahead and taken the two carbon fiber spars, and we've went ahead and installed them. So what I did, I found the center of the wing, which from this edge here, this is where our 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches from our 6-inch span. Found the center. Made a dot, a dot, a dot, and I made a slice all the way down through. Okay? Once we cut that slice, I took a piece of carbon fiber rod, same size as the one that we put in, just a little extra bit, and I ran it right down that edge. Now, I did use a ruler to put, I made the cut with the ruler to get it nice and straight and center. Then I just went slightly off of that cut with this so that it was down to the center and drug it down that cut. It's real important you keep that nice and straight. Any variances and stuff like that, it's going to make it not fit in comfortably and correct. So we want to use our rulers and straight edges for our advantage, right? That's why it's important to have a short one, a long one, so that when you have things like this or tips that curve up, you have sizes that will work for you. So anyways, split that open, took this down and wiggled it, spinning it like this, and pushed it on through like a drill bit to come out, through, and down out the other side. Okay, so we're going to put glue down here. That's going to tie this section in. And now then if we wanted to, I'm thinking I might go this way, we'll see. But basically making a piece that will lock in like this, and that'll help steady it up. If this doesn't do enough, we'll continue with a piece across the front and kind of create a KF foil out of that, and that'll help strengthen this up. But with this in, I don't want to bend it too much because we're not glued in. But that will strengthen this whole thing up. So I'm using our 2-inch little jig that we made for bending the wing to put down, because we're going to want to push this in and then hold it down, right? So that everything lays flat while this glue dries. Okay, let's see. Looks like our glue gun is good. We got plenty of glue in it. We've got a squeegee ready to go. Last test fit. Make sure everything's pressed in where we want it. Also was using this to just kind of press it down and in. There we go. Everything's sitting pretty flat. So we're going to go ahead and start. Lay a bead of glue right down that line. And we're going to go halfway, stop, take our squeegee off the excess, and flatten that out. I'm going to come back across on that little dab right back in there. Alright, going for the other side. Laying down a bead of glue. Okay. You don't have to rush anything when you got time. You don't have a ton of time, but you got some time. Come back across it one more time. Oops. Just like that. Smooth everything out. That's going to glue that in. I want to come in and glue in around this spar. Get this one over here. And then while this is drying, before it gets too crazy, I want to place some weights down. Keep that nice and flat while it's drying. Alright. Hopefully we're in the ballpark of where that is. Alright, we're going to let that dry. And then when it's dry enough, we'll flip it over. We'll do the points underneath. And I think we're good to go. So the key with these little pieces that we're going to glue in is they're longer than we need, obviously. I don't need all of this, so I'm going to just trim this a little bit off. So I made it bigger. We're going to glue it down, and then we're going to trim from the other side, trim that off. Okay, we can glue the tip at that point too. So, alright. So I want to heat up my edges here. This is just so that it lays flat. You're obviously going to get a little something over here. Just going over that. So that'll have to push in. Alright. So I want to lay it here. I want to put a bead all the way down there and down this side. I know it's bigger than I need. We will make sure we get our edges. And oh, just so you know, I peeled the paper off the side that's down, so it's foam on foam, getting glued right now. But I did not peel the paper off the top. Looking really nice. And we are gonna, once we peel the paper off, we're gonna fill in here and in the gap there, get it all nice and secured in. We are gonna bevel edges. I think that's dry enough. Definitely stronger, most definitely. Alright, peel our paper. Here we go. Got our squeegee ready. Just gonna fill in there. And squeegee that. That's just going to join the two pieces, which is really important. Come on down, edges there. So I always like to test what it is before I glue, and then of course after, and that shows you really the strength of putting in just these little beads of glue. You think, that can't be that important. Oh, it actually is. Really important. Okay, go there. Across the top. One more time and then boom. Alright. Let that dry. While that's drying, we'll flip this over. Work on the other side. Make sure you're always working efficiently, right? That side's drying, we can go ahead and do this side. So just like before, run one bead all the way down, one bead down and over. Turn it, put it in place. So I did pre-bend this little piece so it's rounded. And I am kind of forcing that over as well as getting the bend. That's going to help strengthen it. Anytime you can put light tension, mind you, light tension on things, the stronger it becomes because it's pulling against itself, right? Pulling against each other. So that tension makes it really strong. Now it's really cold out here in California right now, and so that means our glue is drying pretty fast, which is good in some ways, bad in others, right? It means it's drying nice and fast, but also it cuts our work time down just a little bit. But that's fine. We know what we're working with. We know what we're working towards. Alright. Right down here. Alright. Got our pieces done. Go ahead, switch sides. Come on in with our really sharp, fresh blade. And we're going to trim that off. Being real careful. Hold it. Not to cut our fingers, right? See if I can use the table as a friend. There we go. A little more force on that. Cut. Come around this way. Again, the same kind of thing. Trim that. Should be able to do the same over here. Go. So now you can see we've trimmed that piece nice and clean, right? So what we want to do is we want to now bevel that. So we're going to come on over the edge of our table. Again, using the blade at an angle, we're going to just gently come on down and slice that little bit, just so we're more aerodynamic. More on that. There we go. sides here. All I'm doing is just cutting that little bevel, right? Just like that. Beautiful. One more over here. Done everything right. We end up with nice beveled cuts. Makes it nice and smooth. Oh yeah, it's really strengthened everything. So the last little thing we need to do is put a little dollop of glue out on the end over here to hold that end in so it doesn't wiggle around and start tearing up the foam, right? So a good little dot, just like that. And we'll let that cool. And there you go. Still got a little bit of flex, but not near as much as we had before, right? Like holding it down here, it's a lot less. I trust this more. Before, when I was holding the tips like this, I was getting a lot of bend down the middle, a lot of bend. Now, not so much. So I do want some flexibility. Again, this is not a speed machine, so we're not going to be pulling tons of G's, but gliders can still get really fast, and we want it to be strong. So the last thing I'm going to do across here is put some white tape right on down. Okay. Let's see. A little bit more. Get our scissors. Okay, we're going to center it. We're going right up to where ailerons start. Gently pressing, make sure we're happy with our placement, and press underneath for our strength. That's why I say, you never throw that away. I needed that now multiple times doing just this thing. So this is where I can press down without deforming the wing. There we go. That's a nice strong wing now. Got a little bit of flex, which is going to be great. It's going to help kind of create a false dihedral, so again we'll float, and that's good. Very happy with that. Very, very happy. Nice and strong. Let's see what our final weight is on our wing. Get some things out of the way, make sure we're not catching up in anything. Zero it out. Wing 80 grams. Okay. 80 grams on the wing. Trying to remember what our fuselage was. I don't remember. 45. So that is 80 and 45 is 125. So our body, our fuselage and our wing is 85. All right. I'm going to mark that down. I might as well move this up for a second. Let me just do a quick cleanup here. Put some stuff away so I can get some space. Alright. Put our wing down safe. Alright, so we said we were at 125. Okay, so on, motor, battery, receiver, ESC, 4 servos, 1 propeller. Alright, that's 187 grams there. So 187 and 125 is 302. So we're at 302 grams. I know we're over the weight. This is a build series, and hopefully the FAA forgives me. But we're just going to do some stuff out there. Now, in that, we can do 250. So we're 307. We need to lose 57 grams. Now, that's easy enough to do. Getting a smaller receiver will save us some weight. Our battery we're stuck with. Our servos we're stuck with. Actually, let's just do this because I was thinking this. 21 grams for 2 servos. So if we only did the 2 there and we lightened up everything, I'm borrowing things. So a propeller, a lighter motor, I was not prepared for this, I do apologize. A much lighter receiver, or 94. This I didn't even open up. This is our ESC for the oops, 112. So with this setup, same battery, same propeller, we've taken out 2 of the servos. Even if we, let's see, 21, right? We're going to add into it 133, and we were at 125. That puts us real close into that, like really close to a 250. Puts us at 258 as is. So just little things here and there. I'm sure I could do a lighter prop. That would obviously take some of the weight out. If we do just a 3-channel, that puts us under our 250. So these are ways that we can do stuff, right? This is a perfectly powerful enough motor for sure. It's basically equal to this. You see the difference in size. So going away from that, smaller. We obviously do not need a 30 amp ESC. Just these are really inexpensive. It's one of the reasons why I use them, is because it's inexpensive. You can get them easily. I have never had a problem burning one up. If people are burning one up, it's probably because they're running more cells. Probably a 3 or 4 cell battery, and so that's why it might be burning up. Plus, full throttle all the time tends to heat these things up. This is not a full throttle. This is a push to get up and glide around. So that's one of the reasons why I really haven't had any problems with them. Anyways, that is how we can keep down our weight, right? Just using parts that are much lighter. And this 20 amp ESC, super light, it's not any more expensive than this. It just doesn't come in the kit. You got to buy it by itself, right? The motor is a little bit more than these. If you were to buy this separate, I mean, you get the kit of this, right? and probably even a couple of servos and some propellers for 20-25 bucks. But this motor is going to last me a lot longer. Going to be able to use it in more applications than this because of the weight. So just little things, you know. Anyways, this is where we're at. We're going to stop the video here. And the next video that we go into will be, now that this is done, we'll be actually attaching the wing to the fuselage, and probably taking care of a few electronics before that. So just a quick note, I'm going to tape these closed for the maiden flight and not put the servos in, just to keep weight down. I want to see how this does as basically a 3-channel glider, which I think is going to be great, because remember, we still have to put our motor mount in. It's going to give us a little bit more weight, but other than that, I want to build that once the plane is together. That way I can get it centered, make sure that I'm pointed at my CG area, all that fun stuff. So like the next one, we're going to be attaching that wing and moving on forward from there. So that's it. Go make it. You can do it. Have a nice day. We'll see you in the next video.